What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Digibyte to BTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content. Otherwise, jumping into today's episode, we will be looking at the potential for Litecoin's next major move. Could potentially be a legendary, massive move within the crypto space. I did dive into this video yesterday, but I do want to touch upon it today. Looking at the more broader view of Litecoin and what the Litecoin, not only as its price, but as its community holds great value for leading in and moving into 2019, and why this could in fact cause a very, very, very bullish breakout when in fact everybody is so pro and positive in the Litecoin space and community. So before we jump into the technical and analyst aspect of things, and before we dive into the more in-depth view of Litecoin, I would like to discuss the coin market cap really quick, and then we'll go on to what I have to say about the price and Litecoin itself. So currently on the coin market cap, there's a few cool things to look at. Market cap is 132.2 billion, which is slightly up from yesterday. So we're seeing a nice movement in the volume as well. 24-hour volume 15.6. We're at around 13 billion yesterday. So we're seeing about a $2.6 billion increase in the exchanges and volume increasing. Bitcoin dominance is actually falling at 51.1. So we're seeing alts getting more affected than Bitcoin itself. And I do want to discuss Ethereum because Ethereum is making great headline and great news. I told you it was a sleeping giant, and that is damn right what it is doing. We said numerous weeks ago when Ethereum was at $80 that we were going to see a nice, price surge, and that is what we're doing. It almost doubled, over 200% gains in the past couple of weeks. So Ethereum is definitely the underdog in today's episode. But as you guys can see, Bitcoin 3,800, only up 3.6%. Ethereum taking the top though at 12.3%. And then Litecoin at $32, up 6.6%. And then, Tron and Bitcoin SV are kind of low, but you can see Litecoin is just barely about to break that $2 billion market cap, which we have done in the past. So all in all, markets are looking beautiful. We are seeing some double digits. Monero's up 10%. What is this? Omis Go up 11%. There are a lot of good altcoins that are up and doing quite well. Revain, which was up significantly more than all the other cryptos when we were falling and breaking bearish. You saw Revain actually did the opposite and exploded upwards, and it is now coming back down. So that kind of makes sense as to why it's down 11%. But otherwise, Augur and all the other coins are doing fairly well, up double digits. DEX up 17%. We're definitely doing very well, and it's nice to see green all across the board. Now, I do want to talk about Litecoin and its potential price prediction for 2019, the possible legendary move that we could potentially see moving into the year 2019. So Litecoin does seem to be on the rise, and we are seeing this. So I do want to discuss a little bit more in depth as to what the Litecoin price predictions are and what positives and pros Litecoin actually serves in the community. So it does Litecoin price predictions of 2019. Litecoin seems to be on the rise in the long term. This is the reason why many of the investors are trying to predict the Litecoin price predictions for 2019. It is important to realize that Litecoin is actually similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Only when you are able to keep this factor in mind, you would be able to predict the price more easily. So we are pretty entangled into Litecoin, into Bitcoin and Ethereum. When we see those prices move up, we see Litecoin also move up. So if Bitcoin, which is the big brother to Litecoin, decides to surge and move upwards or surge and move downwards, you can expect that Litecoin is going to do a similar thing. So when it comes to price predictions, most people think that Litecoin would be able to close around $600 or so in 2019, which is a massive jump from the $32 that it currently is now, being that it is an all-time high. But currently, when you compare the cryptocurrencies on the market, Litecoin is one of the largest cryptos. Many of the institutional investors, as well as cryptocurrency funds, are also investing into Litecoin. This is the reason for transactions in Litecoin are increasing day to day. If you're looking to invest in Litecoin, you would be able to make some good profits throughout the year according to Litecoin's price predictions in 2019. As always, it would be a good idea to diversify your cryptos into other altcoins, to reduce your risk, significantly. But Litecoin is a solidly built network too that oozes potential in 2019. Although some of the altcoins and are earning prestige and global relevance, which with each passing day, Bitcoin is still hands down one of the most prominent cryptocurrencies in the market, with increasing appreciation of the transaction benefits and cryptography and blockchain can provide. But, you know, to really look at what exactly Litecoin has, you know, over the other coins, I can dive into that in a second. Basically, like, Litecoin is an open source project, which means that it has the capability and flexibility to implement relevant and useful tech improvements such as SegWit and the Lightning Network, you know, Charlie Lee. In that matter, it is improved Bitcoin version, which is the logical since it was a fork of it. It is considerably faster than Bitcoin as well, completing transactions in an average of 2.5 minutes compared to the 10 minutes it takes to perform a similar operation of that latter. So we also have seen when Bitcoin was extremely slow, it was taking hours for one transaction to go to the other when, you know, they were really jamming the transaction time and the blockchain time. It represents a cheaper option for people looking to perform transactions with an almost zero transaction fee compared to Bitcoin. The process of mining can be more straightforward on Litecoin than in Bitcoin, although the concept is debatable since it uses new proof of work algorithms. And it was also created by a former Google employee, Charlie Lee, as we said, which brings a sense of reliability and trustworthiness to the equation. So you can see that the person who, you know, invested and created Litecoin is more trustworthy than somebody who, you know, it's less viewed as a scam or an ICO that could potentially harm you by investing in it and losing all your money. So it's looked at as a positive and a perk. You know, it also has a less toxic community since it's quite it doesn't quite have the reach of Bitcoin. It's a much smaller niche. As you guys can see, I'm also repping my Litecoin merch, which you can find in the description of the video. It's my Streamlabs store. You can purchase if you are a pro and a fan of Litecoin. I'm also part of the Litecoin Foundation too, so I do get to help promote Litecoin, so I'm very grateful of that, and we're going to try to get this Litecoin into more retail investors. But also it has a considerably less volatile it's considerably less volatile during market crashes or corrections than some of its peers. Also, the developers and founders have shown excellent leadership skills throughout time. Charlie Lee left Coinbase as the head of engineering with the intentions of focusing full-time on Litecoin project. And as you know, guys know, Litecoin is also on Coinbase, so that's a pretty cool thing too. It also has a 84 million total supply, so similar to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has, I believe, let's see, a circulating supply of 17.5, but it has a total, I'm just looking it up really quick from the Coin market cap, it has a max supply of 21 million. So that is why we're seeing Litecoin price significantly lower, because it has a total of 84 million. So if you like quarter that down, you can see the difference between a $3,000 coin, $3,800 coin Bitcoin, and a $34 coin if we keep dividing that by 4 or 5. We also have the market cap is very low if you compare Litecoin to other tokens at the top of the market as well. Chinese people are fond of it, which is an excellent marketing development since it represents the most significant pool of potential users. And all hardware wallets support Litecoin too, so it does have a lot of positive things towards it. As you guys know, most of the trading is done on, you know, Chinese and Asian exchanges, so there's a lot of pros towards Litecoin and why I am so fond of this coin and the community that it holds, and how, you know, crazy it is becoming adopted in like all different retail investors. And I'm actually trying to partner myself to get some, you know, companies to, you know, accept Litecoin as a means of payment as well. Furthermore, looking at Litecoin on its weekly, you guys can see that we do have this massive downtrend, which is pretty much signaling a bottom for Litecoin, and we could expect to see this bottom, you know, pretty much 2 or 3 weeks ago. Actually, you can see we did find a support at $20, practically that even. You could see where that $20 relates to all the way back in 2017 towards the end. You could see right here where we had our first breakout and then we pulled back down and then continued to rally up. That's where we're currently at. You can see we're slowly moving back upwards. You can see we pretty much bottomed out also on its relative strength indicator. You can see by this green band right here, we're practically entering an oversold market, or we were, and you can see that's why we're dipping back upwards. It looks like we're trying to, move back to its high-low MMA, which you can see is that green band, and that price is at $64. So that's practically double, exactly double what the current price is right now, which does give me more of a sense that we could move bullish up to that level, $64, $65 in the near short term into 2019. Moving though on to Litecoin on its daily, we do want to look now at a more microeconomic level, as you guys can see as I get these charts in focus. Here we go. There's a couple things to note. We do have, as we said in yesterday's video, if you guys were watching yesterday's, we have an ascending triangle. Link will be in the end of the video if you wanted to catch yesterday's. We do have an ascending triangle that's forming right here, and we did find a very strong resistance at $33.60. So you can beautifully see what is exactly happening. We're testing. There's a lot of resistance actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of contact, signifying that this is a resistance. We have this uptrend right here, this ascending triangle, 1, 2, almost actually 3 points of contact. So this is going to play out fairly well. We're going to see it, consolidate into probably the beginning of January, maybe into next week. We will start to see what exactly happens. Will we break bearish from this, fall lower, retest potentially 22, or will we break bullish and, see some resistance at $42? I could see that price being the next resistance level, because that's where the high-low MMA is, as well as this previous resistance a couple weeks ago back in November, mid-November. So in the long term, there is a potential increase. We're practically bottomed out on Litecoin on its weekly. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Litecoin is bottomed out for the most part. It seems like we're receding back up, which is beautiful. And you can see we're practically done. This massive explosion we've had in price has finally decided to climb back down. Doesn't mean that we can't move up quicker, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. Moving on though, we're going to look at Bitcoin now. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin is doing a pretty nice, breakthrough itself. Yes, it's going to start hitting some resistance. You can see that we've had back in the beginning or towards the late end of December. We're looking at this on the 4-hour, I just noticed. But you guys can see we are, pretty entangled within its high-low MMA. You can see we are actually moving up quite a bit from its high-low MMA. The red band was acting as quite a bit of resistance for this coin. We did find a support at 36.80, 36.78, and it just recently decided to take off, explode back up with that increase in volume that we've seen, and it's now seeing some resistance back at this play. You can see where this top is. There's a lot of resistance. I could, draw a small resistance for this coin right here if we wanted to just map out. You can see where we've had a lot of issues. Right around there is where most of the resistance is. You can see right here, right here, right here, as well as here and here. We've had a lot of problems there, but that is in the 4-hour view of things. So we gotta, look back out a little bit more to get a better overview. You can see there's a lot of congestion right here, but we are coming fairly close to the high-low MMA. So it is possible if we can break this resistance, we will see more at around 42.50. So in a more longer term thing, in the next week or two, we could see this coin break that $4,000 resistance level and shoot up to $4,200 fairly quick, if not retesting its high-low MMA at around $4,500 to $4,800 fairly soon as well. But what I really wanted to talk about was not Bitcoin, but Ethereum. Ethereum to me is, it's beautiful what it's doing, actually. It's absolutely phenomenal, and hopefully you guys invested in this when I was telling you guys to, or when I was investing in this. Hopefully you listened and made your own decision, because I am no financial advisor, but we did call that Ethereum was going to bottom at $80, and I did personally purchase a lot of Ethereum at here, and I'm actually still holding on to it because I'm waiting for it to retest at $160 level, and then I'm going to sell out. But basically buying it at $80 and investing in it and then selling off at 160 does make you quite a bit of money. So if you put in $5 grand, not saying I did, not saying I didn't, at $80 and are selling it out at 160, that's doubling your profit, and that is turning $5 grand into 10 grand in a matter of December 16th, and it is now January, in the beginning of January, so about 2 weeks. 2 weeks turning 5 into 10. Phenomenal. that pays the bills, guys. You know, that's why I say I'm so urgent with these calls, you know, and that's why I'm telling you guys to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on these plays like here. You know, we were watching this, trying to find the best opportunity to invest with the least amount of risk. That is what we just found right here, bought in, and we're now going to sell right when we hit that high-low MMA, if not a little bit before, at that $158 level within Ethereum. So that's definitely a good call in my standpoint. Lastly, to end the video today, Digibyte on its weekly. As you guys can see, we found an uptrend, as we discussed in yesterday's video. For all those who are new to the channel, we do have an uptrend that was formed on Digibyte on its weekly. As you guys can see clearly, a beautiful symmetrical triangle formed, and we are using this as a support right now. We're slowly moving upwards, and then we're most likely going to see some sort of resistance from the green high-low MMA on its weekly, but we're going to consolidate into here. So it's definitely going to be an interesting move, but it's going to look something like this on Digibyte's weekly, either a breakout, and then we're going to get, you know, in between here, these green and red bands, or we're going to break down. It's going to be one of those two things. But obviously, I'm not going to make a call when we're looking at the end of the triangle in March of 2019, if not February of 2019, when we see a potential increase or spike in the price. So obviously, when we get closer to that, you know, these signals can change overnight. We'll make a better call and a better play for people who enjoy investing in Digibyte. Otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're on our way to 6,000 subscribers. I am so grateful for you guys for subscribing and making this thing happen. So do share it and help me reach 6K. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.